Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Our Sports Secret tonight brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Big day for Fred Hoiberg and the Husker basketball program as the Huskers secured a pair of transfers. 6'10" rink mast and 6'7" wing player Bryce Williams. Mast played at Bradley the last couple of years and was a big reason why they were the Missouri Valley regular season champs. He's from the Netherlands. He was a first-team all-conference selection, averaged nearly 14 points per game, 8 rebounds, also making 35% of his threes. Williams was a second-team all-conference USA selection for Charlotte and was named the MVP of the CBI tournament just a few weeks ago. He was good for 40% behind the line. Today was the first day for the spring signing period, and Amy Williams announced the signature of another Aussie. Jessica Coody will be coming to Lincoln for next season. The 6'2" forward has international experience, having played for her country's U18 squad last summer. The NBA playoffs started last night with a play-in tournament. Atlanta advanced, beating Miami, and the Lakers won a thrilling overtime contest against the T-Wolves. Tonight, the Bulls play at Toronto, and Oklahoma City visits New Orleans. Husker track and field athlete Till Steinforth was named the Big Ten's Men's Field Athlete of the Week. Steinforth won the decathlon last week at the Jim Click Shootout in Tucson, Arizona. Speaking of the Big Ten, the league has a new commissioner, Tony Petitti, who is a former television and Major League Baseball executive, will succeed Kevin Warren, who is leaving later this week for his job with the Chicago Bears. Nebraska Chancellor Ronnie Green was a part of the search committee. Afternoon finals in Major League Baseball. The Angels bested the Nationals 3-2. It was Miami over Philly in 10 innings, 3-2. The Cardinals beat the Rockies 7-4. The Mariners 5. The Cubs 2. It was the Yankees over Cleveland 4-3. The Twins down the White Sox in Minneapolis 3-1. The Mets over the Padres 5-2, and the Astros blanked the Pirates 7-0. The 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now let's get ready for a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly coming up here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Ralston again delivers 1-2. And Andrews swings and blasts it. Deep left center field. And gone! Home run, Brooke Andrews. And Nebraska takes the lead in the 6th.
To the fall, the 0-1 slider ripped to right. Hit pretty well. Ryan Mooring going back, looking up, and it is gone. Home run, Max Anderson. A 3-run blast to right field. And the Huskers have taken a 3-0 lead.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are, another night of Sports. I'm so glad you decided to spend a little bit of your Wednesday night with us. Or
you almost said Friday.
I'm kind of ready for Friday, to be honest with you.
But my days are so messed up.
Me too.
Because it's like we sometimes we have shows, sometimes we don't, sometimes we have baseball, sometimes we don't, sometimes we play softball. Like, that's what's so nice about the football season. It's so crazy, but you know.
Regimented.
You have your set schedule every single day.
It is regimented. You know exactly what it is. I'm calling tonight's show the all-name show, because we have some names that are going to make appearances on the program tonight, like Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda. You've got Katelyn, Caneda, who's going to be here. So, I mean, you've got some names coming at people tonight.
It's good athletes, too. So,
and Bonner. You mean, that's a name. What? It's Janiran?
Janiran. Yeah,
There's a name
Bonner.
for you, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, so it should be fun. I had a great conversation. Katelyn, Caneda, freshman sensation, comes in. They had a huge void there in softball at second base. Rest of the infield was returning. And, boy, she has stepped up in a big way. She's leading the team, hitting .405 right now as a freshman and her first time, in college softball. And they have not had an easy schedule. So she's really impressive. You watch her on the field, and then it's one of those things where you watch athletes, whether it be wherever they play, court, field, whatever, and you have this perception of how they are, and then they're different when you meet them. She is that way. She's very chill, very low key. She actually told me that it's her alter ego when she's on the softball field, because she's smiling, she's pretty. I mean, she's upbeat, she's happy. It's just, but she's real chill once you sit down and talk to her. So I'm excited for you guys to hear that conversation. She's a stud and really, really good, and has been a big piece of this softball puzzle this year.
Well, we've been waiting for some pieces for Fred Hoiberg's basketball program to fall into place. The transfer portal's been open for darn near a month, and today 2 of them came in. You've got the big fella, the Netherlands transfer, Rink Maas, 6'10". Different kind of big, Jessica, than Derek Walker. I don't think he's going to be the assist guy, nor maybe the low post presence, but he can shoot the 3 a little bit. He's more of a stretch player, and he does rebound pretty well. That was a huge thing, I think, for them to go get a big guy to come in and help. You do have Blaze back, but you needed a big guy. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, just especially on the offensive end, that's where Blaze is such a great defender. He does so many things well on the defensive end, and we heard time and time again, when Blaze goes in, it allows him not to have to double team. They don't have to see, they can just match up one-on-one with their guys, and so he's a rim protector if someone gets to the rim, but his offensive game is still a work in progress, and we saw it grow a lot. And it was hard for him going in and out with the injury that he had. I don't think he ever could really get in a rhythm, I think, but it's still growing. But as good as he is on the defensive end, I think he'll be the first to tell you, the coaching staff will be the first to tell you, that's an area he's got to improve. So with that being said, you got to have somebody that can be a threat inside, and it sounds like this is exactly what they got.
And Rink is. And I remember last year Coach Hoiberg talking about what he really was excited about with Emmanuel and Juwan and Sam, where they were coming from winning programs. They were used to winning. Well, Bradley won the Valley this year. They lost the tournament title, so that forced them into the NIT. They played Wisconsin in the first round of the NIT, but they won the regular season of the Valley. So he was first team all conference. So he's used to winning 24, 25 games a year. That, I think, is really helpful.
Not only that, but also just the experience and have played basketball, because look what you're losing with those guys too. Not only just the winning programs, but those were your leaders.
They were.
Those were your guys that had played a lot of basketball, that knew what to do in certain situations, that have been battle tested. And this is still, other than that, a pretty young basketball team that doesn't necessarily have a lot of that age, which you need to really do well at this point because of the transfer portal. You need some age to be able to really make any kind of runs in this league and in across college basketball. So I think also getting some older guys as well, not just the young flashy players. I think it was all around. There was a lot that they were looking for in certain players to be able to come in and be a part of this program. Now they have, one scholarship left?
They got more than that. They got at least 2.
Okay. And then maybe 3.
Maybe 3 with
okay. All right.
So point guard is still there. And, they've obviously got Hunter Salas is scheduled for a visit in a couple weeks, the former Millard North Star that was at Gonzaga the last couple of years. He's going to be here spring game weekend. So there's going to be some basketball recruits here for spring game weekend. And why not? You're going to have at least 60,000 here in the stadium.
I mean, it's what you do, and it's why the football team was taking recruits to the basketball games at the end of the season. It sells itself, and we heard over and over again. I mean, I asked those coaches, Nate Linzer, Fred Hoiberg, when they sat here, and you're talking about guys that have been in the Big 12, and the atmosphere that you get here at Lincoln is you can put it up against just about anybody in the country when it's rocking, when PBA is at its best. And you get a taste for that when you go to a football game. And for football, you get a taste of that atmosphere when you go to a basketball game when it's at its best. So, it's why all the coaches want to take them there. But, I think it's going to be hard for a Nebraska kid to come in. That's going to sell itself,
sure
right?
Sure is. You would think that Nebraska's got a good lean, and Hunter could check that box of a point guard. He could also play a wing as well, so that'll be a big one to keep an eye on. Now, so we told you about Rink Maas. What a great name, by the way, too.
Yes.
That's just phenomenal. Bryce Williams was at Charlotte the last couple of years. 6'7". He's a wing player, so a little bit bigger than Emmanuel.
I like him.
And I pulled this from a college basketball writer who said the Rink Maas edition is going to get a lot of pub, and rightfully so, but Bryce Williams is a highly underrated pickup. Williams, great wing size at 6'7", a knockdown shooter. He made 40% of his threes this past year at Charlotte.
I watched some of his tape. He is, if he's not a prototypical Fred Hoiberg type of guy, I mean, this is an NBA type player that can score on all three levels. He came off the bench. Maybe that's just where he felt more comfortable, but he didn't start every game. But gosh, he was so dynamic. Still led the team in scoring off the bench, and can shoot it from the outside, as you mentioned. But he threw down some dunks that it's like, wow, that can really get a crowd going. Also has a mid-range jumper too. So you're talking about a guy that can score on all three levels. Of course, when you're watching all these highlights, they don't show you defensive highlights. So I'm not sure exactly. I haven't watched a full game film to tell you how he is on the defensive end, which you and I have talked about. We think that Fred saw some things this year about what this team did defensively, kept them in games and helped them win games, and they've got to be solid on the defensive end. And I think with Juwan Gary and even Jamarcus Lawrence was a great defender, and you're getting some guys back,
Blaze can defend the rim,
that are good on the defensive end. But if one guy doesn't do his job, it breaks down. So I imagine that is also a part of these two guys' games, that they're not going to be a liability on the defensive end either.
Williams played at Charlotte, Conference USA. Why does that matter? That's the Conference of Florida Atlantic. That's the Conference of North Texas, who won the NIT. So Florida Atlantic made the Final Four. North Texas wins the NIT. Charlotte finished 4th or 5th in the league, but they were playing against really good teams night in and night out in that conference.
And then he was the most valuable player of the CBI.
Correct.
Which, that's just not just anybody wins those MVP awards of those tournaments. I mean, there's a lot of players that do a lot of good things. And so for him to be the most valuable player in that tournament that's a huge honor for him.
Sure is. So that's a big day for Fred, and I'm so happy because those guys have been working really hard. The last month, even though the Huskers didn't make postseason, it didn't mean that Coach Hoiberg and Coach Lenzer and Coach Howard and Coach Ziegler were just kicking back and putting their feet up on the couch. They have been going, trying to find guys, and today they get 2.
I told you we sat in a staff meeting, and I was sitting next to one of the coaches that was texting a recruit while we were in the middle of a staff meeting. But yeah, I think too, it's easy to say, oh, well, just go get the best players in the portal. That's what everybody wants to say, but there's specific needs that a team needs, and you got to have the fit that exactly what you need. And there were a couple of things that this team really had to have, and so they had to be pretty selective on what they were bringing in, and I think they met those needs so far, and they still have more room to add to that.
Right. Point guard. Got to find a point guard. That's the big thing. To me, it was big man point guard, and obviously you need as many shooters as you can get. I think
they needed another shooter, a big shooter, and that's what they got in Bryce.
I loved Emmanuel Banamel, but I expected more out of him on the offensive end. He was terrific on that. He was great on-ball defender and all that, but he just could not get his shot going during the season. And
he has been a scorer. He had been a scorer, but he did not. He struggled offensively to get it really going, and I don't know if he was coming out of it when he got hurt. Coach Hoiberg, I know, had said he had shot it well in practice right before that, and so maybe we just didn't never see it. But to me, he never seemed to get comfortable on the offensive end as good as he was on the defensive end, and he was a great leader. But I thought they needed. Casey is Casey, and whether he's here or not, I thought they were lacking a big shooter, and that's what they're getting in Bryce.
Yeah. So exciting news. We told you we would stay on top of that. It was great to see both of those pop this afternoon, and there's more to come, again, with some visits set up. I think there's some in this weekend, and then the spring game they're going to utilize, having a big crowd at the football game to bring in more people as well. Today opened the spring signing period. Now, in the fall, for basketball, volleyball, baseball, the other sports not named football, it's a week-long period in November. In the spring, it's like a month long, and it started today, and that was the day that for Nebraska women's basketball to announce Jessica Petrie to be joining this team. She was here over the Christmas break on her official visit, and I remember the day, I think we may even had an Amy Williams radio show the day she committed, and she was really happy to get Jessica Petrie, but you take Izzy Bourne is off and doing her own thing now, and you kind of replace an Aussie with another Aussie.
Yeah, how about that Aussie pipeline? We talk about a Texas pipeline, a Cali pipeline. I mean, there's this Australian pipeline that the women's basketball team has tapped into. They are very, very excited about her. And Jazz Shelley, when I interviewed her the other day, we had talked a little bit about her before we started recording, and she was really, really excited about her. So, yeah, keeping that going, and it's going to be exciting. I think they've got three really good freshmen that are coming in that are going to have an immediate impact.
All right, here's what we have on the program tonight. We're going to talk some spring football. We're kind of coming down the home stretch of spring practice. Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, a guy that I really liked last spring, and then he had that tremendous touchdown catch in the opening game of the year with Northwestern. Then, for whatever reason, he decided to leave the program in September. When Coach Rural got the job, he called and said, I'd like to come back. Matt Rural's like, sure, come on back. No promises. You got to earn your spot. Jessica had a chance to catch up with him the other day. I can't wait to hear your conversation here in a couple of minutes with IGC.
That's what we just do it, because when we're texting back and forth about him.
Too long to type all that out.
It's too long, so we call him IGC. We just type it out like that. But I loved getting to talk to him last year. I did Cornhusker conversation with him right after the first game of the season, and he's got a heck of a story. You're talking about a kid that was overlooked in high school, fought to get onto junior college, then fought to get to play football at the next level, then to get a Power 5 offer, to get a Division I offer to go. So, I mean, he's just grinded everywhere he's been, and so that's you also, I talked about the other night about Miles and being competitive and how competitive he is. What also you can say about this coaching staff, you talk about being competitors and you talk about being grinders. And Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda has not been afraid to grind his entire career to get to where he is. And so, I think he got in once he got that chance to come back, and he wanted to stay here. And once he got that chance to come back, boy, he got in there and immediately showed them that he's not afraid to get in there and work hard. And that's what he's done so far. And that's why they like what he's done. That's what he's produced up until this point. Looking forward to that conversation here in just a couple of minutes. Also, the latest edition of the Kicking Back with the Cooks podcast is out. We'll play you a snippet of that later this hour. We'll hear from Janiran. Say it again. Janiran Bonner, who's transitioning from a wide receiver to a tight end, and maybe kind of a jack of all trades. He looks like, I mean, you'll see him. So again, from my time here and standing next to the tight ends, you're talking about Austin Allen. How tall was Austin Allen? Like 6'7"? Yeah. Travis Vokalek, 6'7". Thomas Fedoni, tall. The other two guys that they have in that, they're all tall, yes, right? And so Janiran is that different hybrid that we've heard them talk about. Is he closer to a Chancellor Brewington size? He's even a little bit shorter than that, because Chancellor was, he was the shorter of the group, but he was still kind of tall. I think he's going to be, while he's in the tight end room, I think he's going to be that H-back type, which we've heard him talk about. I think he's that guy that they're looking at maybe being that versatile guy that can do a lot of different things back there. He'll be with us in the start of hour number 2, and we'll also talk some Husker softball in the second hour of the program as well. And we want you to be a part of it, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. That would be on our Sports Sunday hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Back with IGC. The chat room loves it. We'll talk to him next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is the way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight and counting. Made for performance and capability, made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Wednesday night. I got that down now. I put a little note on my laptop.
It's not Friday.
A Wednesday night, not Friday yet. Huskers did not practice today. They did yesterday, and some players met with the media, including Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, and you had a chance to catch up with him.
Yeah, right when he started, because again, I didn't know the conversations, how it went down back in December, but I was told back once they started going through the off-season workouts that he was a guy that was doing everything right, that was taking care of business, that they were impressed with how he was handling himself in those preseason workouts and the mat drills and the weight room. And so kind of got a feeling this coaching staff, and again, clean slate, which I know he's really appreciative of. You'll hear him talk about. So yeah, here was IGC, as we like to call him here on the HRN after practice yesterday. Well, how is spring ball going for you?
It's going good. It's fun to be back out there again, and new motivation, new team, new offense. So I think it's been going really well so far.
I don't necessarily want to go into last season, but more so your decision to stay here and what you saw in this coaching staff and believed in this coaching staff to stay here.
Yeah, I think it was I think everything's been a complete 180 flip from last year, and everything is, clean slate for everyone. So everyone gets a fair shot, and, there's not, picking favorites or nothing like that. So it's just nice to be back out here with the team and with a new staff. There's a whole new standard, so, it's fun.
What does it mean to you guys as players that, they do the clean slate, everybody starting on the same page and giving you that opportunity?
I think that means a lot to us because, obviously we've been going through a little bit of trouble the past few years and as a whole program. So now everybody getting a fresh start, you get to show what you can do on the field as a player and in the classroom, in the weight room. It's just all around. It's good to have a fresh start.
Heard such positive things about you from the moment that you guys hit the weight room. What was your approach to attack the offseason before you even got onto the field for spring ball?
Just being one of the hardest workers in the room every day. My dad always tells me, work so hard that they have no choice but to notice you. And so I take that to heart every day in the weight room, anything that I do. So coming into this offseason, I just kind of had a chip on my shoulder, I guess you could say, and just wanted to make sure that, I was really dependable as a player and trustworthy. So I just attacked every day like it was my last, honestly. So
you've been through a lot to get to this point and have battled through a lot of different things, being overlooked, but, stepping away from it last year, did it give you a different perspective of everything?
Yeah, definitely. It almost makes you realize, man, it can be gone in an instant. So, I was extremely thankful to get another opportunity to stay here because, I never really wanted to leave in the first place. And, last year was last year. I don't like to talk about it too much, but, it was unfortunate the way things ended up going. But I think being away from the team for, that month or two, it was rough because, you're so used to being in a routine and being on the football team and being a college athlete. Once it's gone, it's like, oh, wow, it can be taken away from you quickly. So, I'm just blessed and thankful to be back, in the position that I am now.
You obviously had a chemistry with Casey Thompson. You've worked with some of the quarterbacks last year, but in the spring when everybody's kind of playing with everybody and everybody's getting the opportunities, as a wide receiver, how do you go about getting that chemistry with all of the quarterbacks?
I think that started really in January after workouts, on the weekends, during the week with walkthroughs. And, we have throwing sessions with the quarterback throughout the week. And you slowly start to build the chemistry then. And then once spring ball started, there's so much rotation between the receivers and the quarterbacks that you're getting a chance to work with pretty much every quarterback. So it's good because you get that chance to be able to see, okay, he throws like this, he throws like this. You get to know your people and know your quarterbacks. So, it's been good. I think the rotation has been really good, being able to work with all those guys.
What's like working with Garrett McGuire?
It's awesome. I love him. He's super intelligent, one of the smartest coaches I've been around, and he definitely keeps us on our toes, and you learn a lot from him. You just have one conversation with him, and you realize how much football he knows and stuff. So, I love our meetings and I love our practice because he, keeps things fun, but he's intense for sure.
How you liking the offense and getting acclimated to the new offense?
It's been good. I think it's everybody, gets a chance to, show what they can do in this offense. And, it's been a lot of stuff thrown at us, but, I think we've all been doing a good job of just, handling it with not much pressure, and just, Coach always talks about what's next. So, it's been good just learning this new offense, getting comfortable, and, just going and at the end of the day playing football and just making plays.
Thanks for your time. Great to see you back out there.
Thank you.
A lot of things to take away from that. I really enjoyed getting to chat with him. He's obviously a great interview, but I did want to hone in on the Garrett McGuire comment that he made about being one of the most intelligent coaches that he's ever been around. That was another big storyline that came out of the press conference yesterday with Coach Rule and Garrett McGuire. It was his day to speak, but Greg, even out to practice, and I don't know if you've seen, they do rotations of different, they move guys around, and so you have different players playing with different people, and so you can get a sense for who plays well together, all of that, but Garrett McGuire runs one of the stations the time I've been out there, and he is certainly impressive with how he manages what the guys do when they come to him on the 7-on-7 inside or whatever whenever they're inside. I don't know the different. I haven't been out there enough to know exactly what the practice thing, what it is that they do, but when he is in charge of his group, he's really impressive. You can tell he knows football, and you mentioned it. I mean, Lincoln Riley, he's one of the genius offensive minds in the game today. And I think, and who knows, we'll see where Garrett McGuire goes from this, but I just don't get caught up in his age. I think this is a guy that's got tremendous potential, and he's seen it, and the players have already seen it. And Josh Fleeks, I also talked to him the other day too. Hopefully we'll bring you that interview here soon, but he was going with Garrett wherever Garrett was going. So Garrett was about to get a job, and he was following Garrett, and he said, you have no idea how much he knows. He knows offense, he knows defense, he knows the game so well, more than anybody I've ever known. And so I just think probably growing up in it, there's just certain guys that get it in a different way that some guys don't, and that you take years to study that just come to you in a different way. And so I think very well Garrett McGuire might be one of those guys.
I think he's a future head coach. How soon? Too. I don't know, but yeah, when Dad's the head coach at Texas Tech, he's following in that same path. Matt Rule was asked about Isaiah asking to come back on the team and bringing him back, and how has he been with this staff?
He's really, really, really dependable. He's talented, good hands, gets in and out of his breaks. But the biggest thing we're trying to express to this team is, dependability is one of the greatest traits you can have as a teammate and as a member of the team. Like, if I know that you're going to be where you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do, and, Isaiah's a guy, especially with his story, transferring in and leaving the team, it leaves a lot of questions in terms of, hey, what happened? I've never really delved into it with him. I try to give everyone a blank slate. I think he's been awesome. I think he's a guy that can really help us this fall.
Good stuff. Again, I liked him when I saw him on the practice field last spring as well. Hopefully this works out for IGC. Well, we've had people asking about what's going on with the Cooks. We haven't had a podcast for a while. There's one out now. We're going to play you a little bit of that coming up in the next segment. But time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. A little segment of Kicking Back with the Cooks is next. To win the game, you got to have more strength. You gotta be tougher. You gotta be reliable. You gotta want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, and counting. Made for performance and capability, made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to IIAN.com huskers.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Back on a Wednesday night, Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. Earlier this week, the latest edition of the Kicking Back with the Cooks podcast dropped. We're going to play you some of that tonight. John and Lauren talk about what's going on right now with Husker volleyball.
speaking of indoor volleyball, you've started indoor spring practice. How's that going? Who has impressed you the most? And what does your competition schedule look like? We know the spring match was, they talked about that and promoted that, but I know you're playing a couple other matches as well.
Yeah, we started, this is week 2 we're in, and week 1 we have to make they all got really sore last week. So even though we're playing beach volleyball, when you go indoors, it's a change. So we have to gradually move them into that. And this week we've cranked it up a little bit more, and they're working very hard. They're excited to be in the gym. There's great energy, really good growth mindset. Because we have 6 new players, so half our team almost is new. So we're going back to, this is drill. This is, JC on a box, and this is bro dig. And so we have to teach them the drills, and so they know them. We can just call them out and go. So it's almost like starting day 1 in August with, 5 new freshmen. But they picked it up really quick, and so we're in a really big teaching mode right now. Of course, we end with, on April 29th, playing at Central City. I think those tickets are going on sale here sometime in the next week or 2. And I'm sure it'll sell out very quickly. And then we're also going to have a planned scrimmage against Creighton, which is not open to the public. And we're just going to get together and play them. And so that's kind of our spring schedule. And then after that, they have finals, and then we start training for Brazil and leave for Brazil on May 29th and come back on June 14th. And we can talk about that on the next podcast. We're doing some really cool things that we've never done before on an international trip.
Well, that's actually was going to be my next topic, was updates on the Brazil trip. So if you want to fill us in now, great. If you want to wait till next month, we can definitely wait till next month.
It's your podcast, Lauren. I'm just answering questions.
Well, so tell us, my questions were if you've figured out who you will be playing, what your schedule will look like while you're there. Will you be doing any sightseeing? I know you said it's kind of dangerous, and I actually have a story for you that I'll tell after you give us more information. But who will you be playing? How will you be training? Where will you be sightseeing? Where will you be going? Give us any details that you might have at this point.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to 3 different cities, and on this trip, we're playing professional teams, but these professional teams have 19 and under, 21 and under, 23 and under, and then pros. So we'll play a variety of them. We're going to, I think, scrimmage against their national teams, which are preparing for the World Championships, which some of our players have played in World Championships with the USA team, but this year we can't because it's in August. So college players can't go. So it'll be a lot of high school players representing the U.S. in that World Championship team. But we'll play Brazil's team, which is training. We'll be training all summer. So the 3 cities we're going to go to Belo Horizonte. That's where we start. And then we go to Rio. And then we end in a fishing village called Buzios.
Okay. And are you going to each of those to play teams, or some of those destinations just purely for sightseeing?
No, we're playing teams in those cities, and then we'll do some sightseeing. So, and then Buzios at the end is a fishing village where we're going to kind of decompress and debrief the trip, probably elect our captains and do things like that. It's a little fishing village that they've kind of made in a little tourist thing. It's very out of the way, quiet. They got little shops and little restaurants there. So it's just a, cool little place where we just want to kind of debrief, because it'll be, those trips are, 10 days of training, 2 weeks on the road. I mean, it's like almost a month-long process. And so we want to debrief and, talk about what we learned and set goals for the fall. And that's pretty, as you know, that's a pretty powerful part of a trip when you go on these trips is, what you get out of it in the end and what you learn on those trips.
So here's my story for you. So you went to Hawaii with the team, and then Jason, Madden, and I went to Hawaii as a family about a week after. And we actually went to Maui. And so we're at the end of our trip. We get an Uber to take us back to the airport. And her name's Shayla. And Shayla is from Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. And she knew all about volleyball. She has lived the majority of her life in Brazil. She speaks Portuguese. She moved to Hawaii 8 years ago she got married for love, but her kids are still in Brazil. And anyways, so she was saying that, she knows a lot about volleyball. Her grandkids play volleyball. It's a big deal there. So she was talking about that. But then she said, we asked her if she's gone back and if she's been able to visit her children and grandchildren that are still over there. And she said no, because it's too dangerous. So I know you mentioned you guys will have security with you, and I'm sure you'll be very well prepared. But just a heads up, Shayla, who's a Brazil native living in Hawaii, said that she wouldn't go back there right now.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that. And so there's two Brazilians that will be with us, both heavily involved in volleyball in Brazil with their national team programs. And one of the guys, Dr. D'Amata, and that's why I want to maybe spend, as we get closer, another podcast talking about some of the cool things. But his brother was in charge of security for the World Cup in Brazil. So we're well covered on the security part. That's one of the reasons we're not going to Sao Paulo. I'm wondering if your Uber driver was from Sao Paulo, because they did not feel it was safe enough for us to go there. They feel good about Belo Horizonte, where we're going, and there's a club there called Minas, which we're going to be training with and playing at and against their teams. It's the #1 club team in Brazil. And then in Rio, we're in really safe parts, and then we have plans in the evenings, and it's not a place you just turn everybody loose. So
right.
We'll stick together, but we have a great plan. But I got a lot of, there's other cool things to talk about, which we can do on another podcast, but just one little tidbit. So as you know, when we go on those trips, we make up logos, and we have shirts, and we exchange shirts, because that's tradition in volleyball. You exchange shirts with the teams you play with. So MB3, do you know who MB3 is?
MB3.
Yeah, Merritt.
No. Oh, Merritt.
Yeah,
okay.
Merritt.
Why
I call her MB3, because she actually has another code name for her brand or whatever. But she designed our logos. They're really cool. We sent them to Brazil to okay them, just to make sure there wasn't something, because in China sometimes we've made these logos and it's been something that would offend people, but we didn't know because it was in Chinese. So she designed them. They love them, and she did a really, really good job. So we're gonna unveil those as we get closer, these logos, and maybe we'll sell shirts, the Brazil logo in camp, and the Brazil-Nebraska connection and so on. So it's just awesome.
Graphic designer?
She dabbles in it, and she came up with some really good stuff. But I saw it on her Instagram or whatever. But she's done some camps. She wants to be a third grade teacher, and she does camps with elementary school kids. So she has designed some logos for shirts and stuff that she uses for her camps, which are, I call it MB3. I can't remember what it is. I never do get it right, so I just call her MB3. She likes it. She said that's great. So,
I think you still get players' names wrong.
I do. Yeah. I just apologize to him. I said, if I call you by a different name, hey, don't worry about it.
There again is a little bit of this month's Kicking Back with the Cooks podcast. The rest of it is out. You can go find it. Find links off of Huskers.com. And our Huskers Radio Network page. You can hear the whole conversation between Lauren and John Cook. Always fun to hear from both of them. Hey, First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Save on your next vehicle this spring at Woodhouse Chevy. Lease a 2023 Chevy Silverado 1500 for $499 a month for 39 months with 10,000 miles per year. Or lease a 2023 Chevy Equinox for $359 a month for 36 months with 10,000 miles per year. Find new roads with Woodhouse Chevy. In-store or online at woodhousegm.com. With approved credit, first payment and doc fee due at signing. Must have current GMF or Conquest lease. See dealer for details. Expires 4/30/23.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. Nebraska has the most technically advanced buildings in the Big Ten, according to an annual review of universities across the country. Nebraska has also saved over $85 million over the past 17 years by making long-term investments in clean, reliable energy sources, cutting-edge automation, and collaborations across campus.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Final few minutes of Hour 1. Sports Nightly here on a Wednesday night. Greg and Jessica with you, 402-413-2400. That's our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. So John and Lauren were talking about going to Brazil this summer. That's their foreign trip. I've never really had a burning desire to go to Brazil. I mean, I'm probably a pretty cool place to go sometime.
Wasn't it? Was that the Olympics that there was a lot of concern about?
They were down there.
There was one of the Olympics they went to recently that there was a lot of concern about safety and making sure you're staying where you need to stay and all of that.
Could have been part of it down there. Was it Rio de Janeiro or something like that? Was where those Olympics were. Was that in 18? What year was those Olympic Games?
It's 16. So 16, 20. 20 was in Beijing, or 21.
So it was the one before that. Yeah, 16. God, 7 years ago when those Olympic Games were going. So that's where they are going. The men's basketball team is headed to Europe. The women's team is going somewhere, but I don't think it's been announced
It's coming out soon, but they definitely are. They have a foreign trip plan. They just haven't not announced it yet. It's a really cool experience for those teams, and you can get a lot accomplished, and it's great for them to be able to get to travel. I mean, sure. I've told you this. I mean, my first 2 trips out of the country both came thanks because I was working for this athletics department to go to Ireland, and then when I was at Oklahoma, I went to the Bahamas. So, I mean, other than Mexico, like the athletics kind of provides opportunities that you would never get, and so it's cool for these players to get to experience this, but then it's great because you get to go play actually really legit competition. And that was one thing that I know the men looked into, is actually playing some really good teams that they would be able to grow from the trip as well. So yeah, there's a lot that gets done, but you can only do it every 2 years.
4 years.
It's 4? I thought it was 2.
Every 4. Yeah, because Fred Hoiberg went his first year as head coach here, and now he's back.
Wow, I thought it was 2.
Sam in Omaha, which would you rather go to, the Olympics or the World Cup? Olympics for me.
Olympics and also the Ryder Cup.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're a fan, you wear your team's jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. After a win, your world glistens. Lose, and the hurt permeates your soul. You'll always have a place with us in the Cox Fan Zone, where everyone can play and connect with other fans in a big group hug. See, in the Fan Zone, you're not some crazy fan. You're home.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe, voice of the Huskers. Say Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Huskers.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Our sports sector tonight brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Big day for Fred Hoiberg and the Husker basketball program as Nebraska secured a pair of transfers, 6-foot 10-inch rink mast from the Netherlands and 6'7" wing player Bryce Williams. Both said they're committing to the Cornhuskers. Mast has played his college career at Bradley and was a big reason why they were the Missouri Valley regular season champs. He was the first-team all-conference selection, averaged nearly 14 points per game, 8 rebounds, while connecting on 35% of his threes. Williams, a second-team all-conference USA selection for Charlotte. He was named the MVP of the CBI tournament just a couple of weeks ago. He hit on 40% of his three-point tries. Today was the first day of the spring signing period, and Amy Williams announced the signature of another Aussie. Jessica Coody will be coming to Lincoln for next season. The 6'2" forward has international experience, having played for her country's U18 squad last summer. The NBA playoffs started last night with a play-in tournament. Atlanta beat Miami. Lakers won a thriller in overtime over Minnesota. Tonight, Toronto leads Chicago 51-43 late first half. Later on, Oklahoma City visits New Orleans. Husker track and field athlete Till Steinforth was named the Big Ten's men's field athlete of the week. Steinforth won the decathlon last week at the Jim Click shootout in Tucson, Arizona. Speaking of the Big Ten, the league has a new commissioner, Tony Petitti, who is a former television and Major League Baseball executive. Petitti will succeed Kevin Warren, who is leaving to take a job with the Chicago Bears. Nebraska Chancellor Ronnie Green was a part of that search committee. Major League Baseball today, the Diamondbacks beat the Brewers 7-3. The A's in the fifth inning lead Baltimore 4-2. Bottom of the fifth, the Red Sox trailing the Rays 6-3. Tampa still undefeated. They're 11-0 on the season. Tigers and Blue Jays tied at 1 in the bottom of the fourth. Reds and Braves knotted at 2 in the third inning, and all the rest of the baseball was played earlier today. The 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. More Sports Nightly coming up next.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Ralston again delivers 1-2. And Andrews swings and blasts it. Deep left center field. And gone! Home run, Brooke Andrews. And Nebraska takes the lead in the sixth.
To the fall. The 0-1 slider ripped to right. Hit pretty well. Ryan Mooring going back, looking up, and it is gone. Home run, Max Anderson. A 3-run blast to right field. And the Huskers have taken a 3-0 lead.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2 of our Wednesday show. Hope you've had a great week to this point in time. You're on the downhill run now into another weekend. Weather's getting better. It's nice outside again today. We got a full hour coming your way. Going to hear from Janiran Bonner, who is a young man who's making the transition from wide receiver to tight end. Could be an H-back, could be a little bit of everything. Going to catch up with him in a couple of minutes. And we're going to talk some Husker softball. Katelyn Caneda, who's been a terrific freshman for Rhonda Revell's team, is going to join Jessica later on in the hour as well. Before we jump into that, I do want to talk a little bit about the news that kind of broke late yesterday about this time that the Big Ten has found a replacement for Kevin Warren, and Tim Panini has got a real extensive background in TV. He knows that world really well. I think in this day and age, that's probably pretty helpful.
I think so, and I think at this point, with the ever-changing landscape of college athletics, it's good not to just go with what you've always done, right? And what is more competitive than TV networks trying to get the rights? And, you know, when you're an executive trying to battle out to, you know, manage contracts and getting the rights to certain things. And so to me, it's a unique perspective that I think is going to bring a lot. And who knows, you never know. Like, I know that the TV deal was just signed, but you never know. Those things are ever changing, and they always are constantly. And what if teams come out, whatever that might be, you never know. And so to have also someone with that kind of background, but I just think there's so many things that go into television that you don't even think about, that with the way that it's going right now, I think will be a great perspective for the league.
The Big Ten's not alone. The Big 12 has hired someone recently. The Pac-12 has too. It used to be you kind of went up the ladder of being maybe a coach and then an administrator, then an AD, then a commissioner. Well, now they're kind of going away from that kind of ladder climb. These conferences are, and they're getting people with maybe more professional experience, more television experience in Petiti's case here. It's just a different era that we live in right now.
Because again, I mean, at this point, what are the big things that we're talking about? No AD even has experience in.
They don't.
Or no coach has experience in, because this is everything that we're dealing with now is so new and it's ever changing. The NIL thing just came out 2 years ago and it constantly is changing. So there's nobody that has experience in that. And there's nobody that has experience in how the transfer portal is right now. There's just, you know, at this point, like, what good does it do to just go get the same old, same old? It doesn't matter at this point because nobody is experienced in this landscape at this point. So I'll be fascinated to hear Ronnie Green's take on that. And you're interviewing him coming up, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get into that. I saw Ronnie a week or so ago, and he was on the committee, and they had meetings earlier this week. He told me, he goes, Greg, we're close. So I was not surprised when I saw this pop
But
last
at
night.
some point, maybe it's for the spring game or whenever, I would love to hear his take on the process.
He's a short timer, though, Jessica.
Right? I know. But, he knew, and it's important to him. We heard him speak at the staff meeting the other day. They're very passionate about this place, and he would not have done something that didn't set Nebraska up.
Correct.
In the best possible way, and even choosing a leader of the conference that Nebraska is in. So I'd be fascinated to hear his take on the process and why they landed on him and what they felt like he could bring in that role.
Looking forward to that. Mentioned the NBA is going on, Toronto, Chicago. It reminded me of something I saw on social media a couple days ago. The Raptors, this was over the weekend, were playing, and it might have been the Bulls, and Delano Bant, the former Husker, played for Fred Hoiberg, is now a Raptor, member of the Raptors team, was on the bench, and this guy was proposing to his girlfriend right behind the bench, and she's declining the proposal. She's shaking her head like, no, no, no. And there's a great shot of Delano. He's watching, and his mouth like drops, and
Delano's
he's like, oh my gosh.
Don't do that. Delano's so nice. He probably was like, oh no. He probably was like,
felt bad
so
for the guy.
bad for the guy.
Yeah. So there was a great shot of Delano looking at this thing going down right behind
At
the
least they
bench.
didn't put him on the big screen, I guess. I don't know what's worse.
They might have, though, because, a lot of times they do that and they'll put it up on the screen in the arena. But, yeah, just kind of.
Better make sure before
you do that.
before you sign up to be on the big screen, you
a
better
guy-
make sure they're going to say yes.
There's a guy at the Dodgers game, might have been opening day for the Dodgers a week or so ago, that ran out of the field and did it to his girlfriend in the stands. He then just gets creamed. The security guards came and tackled him, and because it was not authorized for him to go do that. I think she did say yes, so he said it was all worth it that he got beat up by the security guards.
Wasn't there somebody that got tackled recently and held onto the ring? I saw that too. Like somebody got tackled and
held the ring up.
Yeah, held onto the ring.
Yeah. We're going to talk some more football here in segment one. I wrote it down because you've been schooling me on Janiran Bonner, who is a guy who redshirted last year out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, and was a highly thought of recruit to sign with Scott Frost a couple years ago. And this staff's thinking about using him in a lot of different spots.
Yeah, he's not necessarily as tall as some of the tight ends that we've seen here recently, but he's thick. He's a thicker guy, and so I think they saw that he could be versatile, and they want to find somebody that's in that role, of that versatile role of a H-back / fullback, if you will, type of role, and maybe he could be that. But he's moved from wide receiver to the tight end room, and so I got a chance to chat with him about that transition a couple days ago. All right, well, a couple weeks now in the books. How's it been going?
Everything been great. Can't ask for nothing better.
Well, you moved from wide receiver to tight end. What's that switch been like?
It's been a big change, going from receiver to tight end. I got to learn a lot more. Got to know the passing game, got to know the run game, so it's definitely a big change. I'm still adjusting.
What was that conversation like when they talked to you about maybe making that switch?
I got a text. Got a text from Coach. Told me to come up, talk to him real quick. I went up. He just told me, Coach Sack just told me that he feel like I should change over. And he asked me if it was okay. I was like, yeah, I don't mind, wherever. No, I just put all my trust into him. So wherever they feel like they see a good fit for me, I'm just going to believe in, just follow their footsteps and just hope for the best. But I already know wherever I go, I feel like I'm going to do good at it. So that's where I feel comfortable at now at the tight end position.
What about blocking? Has that been different, learning that part of it?
Definitely. Cause I went from blocking the safety and the cornerback to a lineman and a linebacker. So, yeah, that's been different. But I'm adjusting. I just got to put on a little bit more weight and be able to hang in there with them boys.
You enjoy that part of it, though?
Definitely. I definitely enjoy it. It's more physical. I'm a physical guy, so I definitely love that part.
What about just overall learning this offense? How much do you like it?
I love it. I love it. It takes a lot, but I love it. It's a lot to learn, but I'm loving it so far.
And how about Coach Wigger? What's it been like getting to know him?
It's been cool. He's a cool guy. Actually learning a lot from him. So he's great. He's just a great overall person. Great.
And then that you talked about hitting the guys up front and the linebackers and the defensive line. What have you seen out of those guys? How's it been matching up with them?
It's been just nothing but competition. Great competition at that. It's way more physical. So, yeah, just great competition, and I love it. So they do too.
What's the goal for you? What did you want to accomplish here in this spring, being that you're making the position change?
Just get this position down pat. Just get this position, learn this offense. Like the back of my hand, and just be better than when I was before the spring. That's it.
And how have you seen the offense progress just from day one to where you guys are now?
A lot. We've getting better day by day. 1% better. That's our goal. Just getting better and better every day, and that's what we've been doing every day.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can see him there. I mean, big guy. So I definitely think, though, he definitely looks more of the role of what we're talking about. Maybe could play that fullback / H-back type of role that can do a lot of things. But love what he said about how the blocking's different and maybe you need to put on a little bit more weight, but he likes the physicality of the position.
Jessica, one other thing that came up yesterday with Coach Rural was meeting with the media is that the second portal window opens for football starting Saturday, and it's only 2 weeks long. It goes to the end of the month. So, and a lot of people keep calling and talking and writing us and texting us about what's going on with the roster size and all those type of things. I think we'll start getting some answers to some of those questions in the coming weeks. I can't imagine any Huskers going in the portal next week. Maybe after the spring game they would, but I can't imagine. Maybe somebody will.
But I think it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen. I think, now that spring ball is through and getting a feel for the fits and if they might, because I think a lot of guys, again, time and time again, I'm talking to a lot of the new guys, but I'm also talking to a lot of the guys that have been around. And this is a tight locker room, and they were tight last year. And I think a lot of them wanted to stick together and see where they could go with the new staff. And I think they've done a great job welcoming in the new guys. But I think that being said, and they wanted to give it a shot. But, you can't fault someone if they don't feel like they fit in the system. And if they feel like they can go play, because it's a different defense, it's a different offense. And so whether these guys feel like they fit or not, you can't fault them for wanting to maybe explore and see if there's a better fit, because they came in thinking that they were going to fit in something else. And so I just think, I think it's inevitable that you'll probably see some guys that maybe have got a feel for how things are going to unfold as far as if they're a fit or not, and maybe look to see if they can find a better fit.
And I think on the other side of the coin, the coaching staff now has had a spring to evaluate what they have. And they may decide we need another player here or there. And they're going to look at some names that pop in this portal in the next 2 weeks. Didn't we get O'Shawn last May?
Yeah. And Timmy came in May, right?
Timmy came in May. And then wasn't there Devin Drew, I think, came really late.
Yeah, there was a few. And then the Texas Tech. But
was Drew.
When there another Alabama guy was.
Win.
Yeah. Was he late too?
And he's here. He's still here now. But yeah, so I think Nebraska might even add a few names.
A name, which again, these positions are not very popular. They're not positions you see a lot of in the portal. But I would like to see some defensive line. Maybe, and I think anytime you can add an experienced offensive lineman, you do it. But I saw an article today talking about offensive linemen. For Jeremiah and I joke a lot about they don't get a lot of the glory or whatnot, but boy, they sure are the most popular people in the transfer portal, and they don't get them much. And then that's why when you're talking about NIL and finding NIL deals, it's why those. They're the 1890s across the country are trying to find the money to get those offensive linemen, because they're just so few and far between. that you can add in the portal. It's just not a position that goes to the portal. It's why they're the most popular guys when they hit the portal. Same with defensive line, which there are more defensive linemen, I feel like, than O-line. But I would love if we have a want and a need here on Sports Nightly for what you would like to get in the portal, defensive lineman would be one that I would. I
think you're right. And you're also right. I think it was Wynn, Drew, and O'Shawn all came to Lincoln and came to Nebraska after spring football last year.
Yeah. Well, and Drew didn't even get here till the fall camp.
He had to pass some summer school classes.
He had another session.
He had to pass some classes in the summer. He got here like second week of camp.
Which I feel like even at this point now, if you come in now, you're still not as far behind because everybody's still learning.
Right.
Like at this point, a year ago, maybe it's a hard adjustment if you're coming into a system that's been in place for years and years and years. But if you're coming into a system that's still being put in place, because they have not installed everything, and they're still doing a lot of technique and and just getting better. And I haven't seen a lot of install yet in practice, but again, I have been out there 2 days and I have not stayed out there the whole time, and maybe they're doing that elsewhere, but I think it'll be easier for somebody to come in and grasp concepts at this stage in the game for Nebraska than it was a year ago.
Totally agree. We'll keep an eye on it, folks, but it could be a crazy couple weeks. But a lot of you who are worried about that roster size, it's going to start taking care of itself, I think. Hey, our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. When we come back, talk some Husker softball. Katelyn Caneda is going to join us next.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
The Nebraska Lottery has given over $900 million back to our state since 1993. The proceeds have helped protect and improve Nebraska's environment, funded need-based scholarships for Nebraska students, and maintained and improved facilities at the state fair.
That's terrific! You should put that on your website.
It already is. Just click on beneficiaries in the menu.
Menu? You guys serve food too?
Maybe you should get off your feet for a while.
The Nebraska Lottery. 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Set and the pitch. That's lifted in the air to left. Hit pretty well. Going back is Jake Marty looking up, and it is gone. Josh Karen drives it out of here.
On Friday, the softball team travels to Bloomington to take on Indiana. Pre-game coverage with Nate Rohr begins at 4:45 p.m. Then the baseball team matches up with Northwestern for Game 1 of their weekend series. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. on the Huskers Radio Network. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet, too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Since 1993, Dakota Mac has offered fixed long-term ag real estate loans perfect for any stage of life. The rebellious 15-year loan, the Here for Laundry 20-year loan, and the 30-year loan who thinks they can tell you a thing or two about parenting. Whatever your needs, trust Dakota Mac with your legacy.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Please call me at 308-380-7564 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and joining me in studio now, the freshman sensation from Nebraska softball, Katelyn Caneda. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, how's the freshman season going?
It's been quite the grind.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a grind. It's fun.
From California, Cerritos, California, to Nebraska, how has that transition been?
It was rough in the beginning because obviously the weather, but I mean, I feel like I've adapted to the cold because now it is super hot. And I did get bloody noses in the beginning from the weather change.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow. Were you concerned at all about that, playing in California where you can pretty much play year-round? So how are we going to play in the winter? Was that ever a thought in your mind?
I did think about it, but it didn't hit me until really, I had to start wearing, layers upon layers to, be warm. But, yeah, I mean, and I've never really, I practice indoors during rainy days, but never a snow day or anything. So that was kind of cool.
That's awesome. Well, tell us about your recruiting process, because we had Coach Ravella on here last week, and she was saying that you almost recruited Nebraska before Nebraska started really recruiting you. So tell me about that and how you found Nebraska.
So basically, I don't know if you know, but I played for the Corona Angels, and our coach has a very good relationship with the coaches, and he would just always talk about Nebraska. My teammate right now, Dakota, committed first when, I don't know, a long time ago. And ever since then, I looked into it and just loved Nebraska.
She was saying that, you know, for you it was about the softball, but it was about so much more to that. Why was it so important to you, not just to go play for a softball program, but to look into everything outside of just the sport?
Right. So when I was doing my research, I saw that it was like a college town, and you know the fans and the environment out here is like a good one, and I wanted to be a part of that. So, yeah.
So then, once you started kind of diving into the softball part of it, what did you learn about the program that you felt like it would be a good fit for you?
I feel like it was the culture and the girls. They're all good people, and I just felt like comfortable being here. So
they say it's like when you know, it's like a fit.
Yeah.
You just kind of know.
Yeah. So I never met any of the girls before I committed because it was like during COVID. So I did take a virtual visit.
Wow.
But I took my official just last year when I was a senior. So, but I knew that I would, blossom out here. Is that a good word to put it?
Yes, that's awesome. That's
a
great word. So how did you even get into softball, and how did it become something? Did you always think like, oh, I could maybe go to college in this?
Well, funny story. My dad actually asked me when I was 5. He was like, do you want to do softball? I said no. But then he was like, oh, I signed you up anyways. So, and I mean, the first practice I cried. I don't know why. I think I was just like, wow, what is this? You know? But then eventually I got to 8 years old, and I don't know, I found myself working hard at it, and then by the time I was 10, I joined travel ball for the Corona Angels, and from there it's just been a journey. So
from crying at your first practice to leading your team in batting average, but when did you find your love for it? What did you fall in love about softball?
I think just being able to, like, the field is a place where you could just be yourself, or you can have this like alter ego, like kind of like putting on a mask. So like there's me off the field and then there's me on the field, but I'll still be me, like I'll be laughing, telling jokes and stuff, but like my alter ego, so to say, will come out.
I like that. I like that. Visiting with Kate Caneda from Nebraska softball. Well, once you got here, there's a big role to fill at second base, and
right.
Your teammates, Coach Ravel, they've been talking about you and what they've seen in practice from the start. So was that something that you felt like you could help this team immediately with stepping into that role at second base?
I feel like before I came here, I didn't really think about that, because I didn't realize that she was a 5th-year senior last year, Cam. But coming here and I just wanted to be a player that, that the team needed. So, yeah.
So, do you love defense? Because I feel like you kind of have to love defense to play for Nebraska, but it's such an important part of it. But you're so good at the plate. So, do you have a favorite? Do you like being out on the field or at the plate?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I mean, I'm leaning more towards the plate, but probably the plate. I like being up to bat, yeah.
Well, you're walking into an infield that, Maya Felder, right. Billy, Sydney Gray over at third. They played a lot of softball together and just have this chemistry, It's just kind of, it's really cool to watch. It's been fun to watch. They just play so well together. So what was like getting acclimated playing with them?
At first, I feel like I would be in my own silo. But then I started to open up, ask questions. If, I would usually turn to Billy. Sometimes I go to Maya, but they're they've just been great role models. And Sid at third, you know, I just like following them, and yeah.
What's it like being a part of an infield like that?
A veteran infield? At first it was a little scary, but like, if I'm being honest. But I mean, now it's just like
second nature.
Yeah.
Feels normal.
Yeah.
Feels regular, like you fit. Well, and then backing up Courtney Wallace, what can you say about the job she's done for you guys this year?
Oh, Courtney, I'm a fan of Courtney myself, but I feel like she has a very big role on this team. And like, not only is she, you know, pitching, you know, she's in the lineup too for hitting, but like, as a person, as like a leader, she's like that person like that'll pick you up if you need it, and just a great role model, great person overall. So
it's awesome. I love Courtney. She's one of my favorites too. What about your approach at the plate? How much does it help? Because for a lot of freshmen going into their college teams, I feel like you're the best hitter on your team that you previously came from, or one of the best. And then you come into a lineup like this where you have so much power from top to bottom. How does that help you with the transition? Or has it helped you with the transition, knowing there's so many great hitters from top to bottom of the lineup?
Kind of just, I don't know. I never thought about, I mean, I did start at the bottom of the lineup, and I mean, just knowing my role, like I was going to fit into that lineup somewhere, and just knowing my role and, you know, executing it. So,
what's been the biggest adjustment to college softball?
I think just doing softball like every day. I mean, I would do stuff every day back home, but it wasn't like you know, bang bang bang, like softball. And I mean, I'm used to the traveling, missing class for traveling, but I just feel like just so much softball. It's like life out here, but yeah.
And learning probably how to balance everything too on your own, away from home for the first time.
Yeah, that's another factor, not having my family. But I mean, I call them every once in a while, so
yeah, it's good. Well, how do you guys feel right now? As you kind of get into the heart of Big Ten play and on the road at Indiana, one of the top teams in the league. How do you guys feel about where you guys are at right now at this point in the season?
I feel like we've definitely grown from the very beginning, and from Clearwater till now. But I just feel confident in our team. Everyone knows their role, so.
Speaking of that role, I mean, what gave you the confidence? What made you ready to step into the role that you're in as a freshman?
I feel like it goes back to just my travel ball. It was always, you know, competing for a spot, and now, like just knowing that every day you have to compete. Yes, you can earn the spot, but you gotta, you know, keep working to keep that spot. And I feel like the coaches right now have prepared, you know, their preparation for you to succeed in the game, on the field. They prepare you very well, and I just feel confident in my preparation. So
it's awesome. Great answer. You were Big Ten Freshman of the Week a couple weeks ago, leading the team in batting average, have been hot at the plate. What's been your approach to being able to adjust to this college pitching? Has it felt much different, or what? How have you been able to find so much success at the plate here so early?
I feel like it's just, again, with the preparation, we watch film, we come up with our plan, we use, you know, conviction about what we want to do before we get into that box, before we see the first pitch, and just go from there. Yeah.
You mentioned watching film. Was that something that you did much before, or have you had to learn kind of what that process is like?
Yeah, no, I've never watched film like this before. Like, you watch on each pitcher, you see like how they're trying to get you out and, you know, what they're throwing. Like, I'm a lefty, so I would look at the lefty batters and see how the lefties are standing in the box, and kind of see what pitches they're attacking and what they're leaving alone, and I would just build my plan based off of that.
You always have such a big smile on your face. It seems like this team has a lot of fun. How much are you enjoying being a part of this Nebraska softball program?
Oh, I love all parts of it. It's amazing.
Love it. Well, Kate, Caneda, thanks for spending some time. Best of luck this weekend. Go get them up in Indiana.
Thank you.
And we will have the calls for you all weekend right here on the Huskers Radio Network with Nate Rohr. So stay tuned for all of the coverage right here on HRN. We're back with more from Sports Nightly coming up right after this. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Shop Woodhouse Nissan when looking for your next crossover or SUV. Our team takes the pressure out of car buying and lets you shop at your own pace and convenience. Right now, you can lease a new 2023 Rogue S for $179 a month for 18 months, 10,000 miles per year. With all-wheel drive capabilities and 5 drive modes, the Rogue delivers power when you need it. Visit one of our 2 convenient Woodhouse Nissan locations today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. Discounted price based on sale price of $29,350. VIN number PC774896 expires 4/30/23.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. So good to hear from her. What a nice job she's done in her first year of college softball, and a little scary to think about where they'd be without her. She's really been that good.
I mean, to think she's just a freshman and filling that role at second base, which Cami Barra was, I mean, All-American.
Really good.
Like, honorable mention All-American, I believe, last year. And, I mean, just so reliable in so many ways in the infield, at the plate. And then for her to be coming as a freshman, you think about this lineup and how well they hit. And for her to be leading the team in batting average. I mean, that, and a lot of it, too, is you can pass the bat and there's alleviate some of the pressure. But, I mean, for her to just be able to step right in both roles, there at second base and then also at the plate, it just is huge. And she's so, to me, like, her demeanor is a big part of that. Just very low key. You can tell, chill, whatever I need to do, like accepting of whatever. Nothing's kind of, it seems to me like no moment's too big at this point for her. And so, great addition for the softball team.
Huskers currently in a three-way tie for fourth with Rutgers and Iowa. They split the two games that they play with Iowa. And then this is a big one this weekend because they're going to go play second place Indiana.
Receiving votes, by the way. Indiana's receiving votes.
And that's surprising. They've not had traditionally a very good softball program, but they are off to a 31-12 start. So this will be a big challenge this weekend in Bloomington.
Yeah, it will be for sure. And, again, I think this team has challenged themselves, and they have hopefully the third – oh, my gosh, I just lost her name. The third pitcher.
Kinney. Isn't it Katelyn Kinney?
Yes. Hopefully,
she's been hurt.
Coach Revelle said a couple weeks ago when she came on that the cast is coming off, and so I think it will help too getting her back. I mean, Courtney Wallace has pitched a ton of innings. Like, I think top 5 in the nation, top number 1 in the Big Ten, not even close. And so she's had a heavy workload, but I think I mean. It's the Big Ten is tough this year, so they're going to get how many teams do you think they'll get in?
Well, they got 7 last year. I think, and I'm looking at the numbers now. Northwestern's a lock. I think Indiana's done enough that they're probably a lock. Rutgers has had a really good year. I don't know what their strength of schedule is going to be like. Michigan's record's not very good, but they have history and tradition on their side.
They'll get the nod.
They would get a nod
if they were at the bottom of the list. So if say there were 7 teams. And maybe potentially 8. And Michigan was maybe potentially that 8th team. Big Ten would get 8 teams in. Now, if it was another team that wasn't as historically dominant, they probably
Correct.
don't get in. It might be 7 teams as opposed to 8.
Michigan is kind of at that bottom end of that 7-8 stripe right now, and so maybe they get in. Iowa's really done a nice job. They've really improved a lot.
Coach Reville said they should have gotten in last year. They were on the fringe last year and probably should have made the tournament last year.
So lots of good softball still to come, but a big weekend for the Huskers in Bloomington, Indiana. 9-2 in the conference. Huskers are at 7-4.
Disappointing last night?
Last night was a really, really bad loss. Really bad loss. In some ways, it changes the outlook for the season.
Really?
Yeah, it was that bad of a loss. And
Does that change them getting in without having to win the Big?
Yes.
That last night basically made them have to go win the Big Ten tournament? Do you think?
in a lot of ways, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, real gut punch. I know we've had some texts that came in late last night too. It's really frustrating. That team, and I told you this too. There are times where that Husker team looks really good.
Yeah.
That they can beat anybody in the country. And then there are nights like last night, you're like, who are these guys? It's just a real Jekyll and Hyde. I don't quite know what's happening.
Is there any tells that you see as the game unfolds on which team is there?
Yeah, it's usually whether they're playing pretty good defensively. And last night, 2 bad defensive plays early set the tone, and that was a tough loss.
And that's normally not a Will Bolt type team. They're normally...
And they're one of the better defensive teams in the country. So last night, the 2 early miscues defensively, a bad sign. I do think they come back big this weekend against Northwestern. I think they come back and roar back on that. But, boy, you can't scratch last night off your resume. It's there. It's a stain now on your resume.
And I know we got to get to a break, but is it something where they get up for Big Ten series and not for the week
Possibly.
nights? There was a team, I was thinking about this last night. There was a team recently that, and I think it was when I was in the Big 12, which the Big 12 has good baseball teams, that played horrible in the week, but then would always dominate on the weekend. And I didn't know if maybe that had something to do with it too.
That's a bit of a trend in college baseball that teams have a lull during the week because there's so much energy you'd use on the weekend to play your rivals in your conferences. But yeah, that was a tough one last night. I know people were not happy leaving the ballpark last night. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap this little ditty up next.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Your story, it lives in the capital city, where we take Nebraska nice to another level, and we always show up for Go Big Red. In your story, a pioneering spirit has built a community that cares. Your story is the story of Lincoln, told by those who live it and love it. Whether that's breaking news from the Capitol or sending you to the best shows in town. And here in the Lincoln Journal-Star is where it comes to life. Lincoln Journal-Star, where your story lives.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Husker fans, don't miss your chance to get a first look at new head coach Matt Rule and the 2023 Husker football team. Be in Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 22nd for the annual Nebraska football red and white spring game presented by FNBO. Tickets are on sale now and are only $10 when purchased in advance and $20 on the day of the game. To secure your tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Our Sports Alley Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. I just looked up the Raptors and the Bulls are playing. Delano Banton has not made an appearance in the game tonight for the Raptors. He is activated but not into the game at all. Bryce McGowan's had some pretty good games late in the season for Charlotte. That was really good to see.
He's a guy that we're going to continue to see get better. You know, I mean, he just kind of was very green. And remember, he was a football player. I mean, he thought he was going to play football in college. And I think you saw his growth in the time that he was here, and could tell that he had a really high upside, and that's why I think a lot of people wanted to see him come back for a year, because you could tell how much he grew in a year. But I think you're seeing that. That's what's great about the NBA now and the G League, and they really do a better job of developing guys as opposed to just wanting guys that are ready right now. They can see potential in guys and help them develop, and I think Bryce had a big year in that regard.
And he's so young still.
Yeah, he is.
He's 2 years out of high school. So he's a young kid that his better days are ahead for him. So excited for him. Isaiah Roby signed a big deal with the Knicks. He's going to be a New York Knickerbocker moving forward. He was in San Antonio for most of this year. He's still a fairly young guy. He's only been in the league a couple of years, and he was really young.
So nice. Like one of the nicest guys.
Yeah, really nice guy. Don't think the Huskers have anybody drafted this year.
No.
Had to the last 2 years, but
no,
I don't think Derek gets drafted. Derek might get a look in a camp by somebody.
I think he will. I mean, look at a guy like Austin Reeves. I say this because I worked with him at Oklahoma. He didn't get drafted, and he's starting for the Lakers right now. It's a matter of finding a good fit on a team and then, taking care of business when you get there. Maybe he can find a good fit somewhere, but I don't know. I mean, I think he's probably too small at this point, even though the league is they're not as big, but he has a unique skill set that maybe somebody can fit somewhere really well, but he's got to find. It's a little bit like a JoJo Doman. You got to find a fit for a Derek Walker.
Very, very true. Husker basketball fans are excited today. This was a big day for Fred Hoiberg.
It was.
This was a really good day.
I like the pickups that they got, and again, it was all about not just going and getting. It's one thing to rebuild the program from the ground up and just going to get whoever you can and the best players, but this team needed a specific fit. And I think they got two needs that they needed.
And I love that they're coming from programs that have been winning.
Yep.
I think that's
inexperienced and played some basketball at this level.
Exactly right. And did well. And in Bryce Williams, really well in postseason, MVP of that CBI. So good day for Fred Hoiberg and his guys. Really happy for Coach. We haven't had Coach on in about 6 weeks. Probably need to, but we'll wait till maybe the dust settles on some of these moves that are going on. All right, tomorrow night, practice report. I don't even know which coach is talking tomorrow. I know it's not the head coach, but whoever talks, we'll recap it for them.
And whoever they send me to talk to, I'll chat with. So we'll have a couple more player interviews.
And men's gym. We're going to preview the NC championships.
Yes.
With a really good gymnast.
Yes. Taylor Christopoulos tomorrow night.
We'll have it. Thanks to Cole. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses. all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
Bring even more action to your drive when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. You can take advantage of $3,000 off MSRP on the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT, or discover the Buick Envision. Receive $1,750 off MSRP on the 2023 Buick Envision. Explore our current inventory in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. With approved credit, see dealer for details. Expires 4/30/23.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree